Ever since ancient times, mankind have seen the eagle as the majesty of the skies. With its keen eyesight and sharp claws, it flies with its powerful wings high above the clouds. It is not so difficult to imagine why so many different tribes around the world have considered this ancient dinosaur as the king of birds. According to many mythologies, this bird of prey has had an important role around the world and continues to play a big part in the spiritual life of human beings. As a source of inspiration or a guiding force, the eagle has taught us the value of the high roads and the unparalleled joy of true freedom. In its symbolism and spiritual meaning, the eagle is included as a divine and loyal spirit of freedom and justice. While in the symbolism of the two-headed eagle, which we will cover more broadly in this episode, has a slightly more powerful meaning than that of the single-headed eagle. Throughout human history, the symbolic value of the eagle has been found in various shapes and forms with different color combinations. Sometimes with one head, and other times with several heads. In the context of understanding when certain tribes started to identify with the eagle, it is important to understand why this symbol became part of their identity. First off, the many motifs and shapes of the eagle and its symbolism and heraldry, meaning the science of the coat of arms, in general has had strong ties with different tribes and empires. According to the belief system of sky deities, the eagle was believed to symbolize the archangel of God on earth, to transmit messages to its people on earth. During the Bronze Age and Iron Age, the eagle had many motifs which stretched from Asia to Egypt and all the way to Europe. The first appearance of the double-headed eagle materializes on the monuments of the Hittite Empire and was attributed to the god Nergal in the period between the 20th century BCE. During the early years of the Roman Empire, around 100 BCE, Gaius Marius declared that the eagle alone became the defining emblem of the Roman Empire. The one-headed eagle Aquila, which had strong ties to the pagan god Jupiter, was a symbol of imperial power and is one of the most famous animal symbols of ancient Rome. Subsequently, during the late antiquity, after Roman Empire was divided in two parts in 395, where Rome was the capital of the Western Empire, while Constantinople became the capital of the Eastern Empire. The first to use the double-headed eagle is seen during the era of the Paleologus dynasty. Over the course of several hundred years later, between the 12th and 15th century, the Slavic and the Russian Empire adopted the double-headed eagle from the Byzantines as representative of their Christian Orthodox principalities. But what about the Albanians? Did they also inherit the same symbol from Byzantium? Well, according to many Albanian historians, but also German, Swedish, Austrian, and Italian Albanologists, all claim that the facts prove the contrary. Due to the strong ties modern Albanians have with the Illyrians, many historians believe that Albanian culture have inherited their state symbol from the Illyrians and not from the Byzantines. One such intriguing finding is one of the most famous engravings found on modern-day Croatia. This Illyrian heraldic symbol depicts an Illyrian warrior with a double-headed eagle on his shield, that dates back to the 6th century BCE. According to this timeline, it would mean that the Illyrian symbol of the eagle predates the Roman aquila, and although it is uncertain whether or not Roman adopted the eagle symbol after conquering the Illyrian peninsula, the belief that they did is nonetheless intriguing. One important development to emphasize is the fact that the Byzantine Empire was itself a political state that inherited much from the countries they ruled in, which means that the ruling class of Byzantine territories that was spread across the Illyrian lands inherited a large part of their culture and myths, and not the other way around. In fact, throughout history, many Byzantine emperors have declared themselves as Illyrians, like Constantine the Great, who ruled the Roman Empire from 306 to 337 AD, and Justinian I, who ruled the Eastern Roman Empire from 527 to 565, and many others. But who did the Illyrians adopt it from, if not from the Byzantines? Well, according to some historians, they claim that the Illyrian symbolism have been handed down from generation to generation by their Pelasgian ancestors. Although the actual origin of Pelasgians is disputed among modern scholars, where some believed that they were a Proto-Hellenic tribe, a tribe related to the Hellenes. However, the most convincing theory is that the Illyrians were related to the Pelasgians. In fact, the Illyrian language, but also in heraldic symbolism used by the Illyrians, have consistent similarities with Pelasgian mythology. Unfortunately, the issues that reflect the artifacts during the Pelasgian period are not preserved. But history is persistent, and where there are no defined sources, it is often compensated by other information. However foggy the period of the Pelasgian era may seem to us, if researched and analyzed its mythology carefully, it gives us some interpretation of when various symbols appear. According to the ancient Greek historian and geographer Herodotus, claimed that the Pelasgians spoke a language or languages that later at the time Greek identified as barbarian. He goes on by stating that the entire territory of Greece was initially called Pelasgia, who were strongly linked to the Pelasgian god Zeus. According to the myths of Pelasgian god Zeus, he is often identified with one or two eagles, but his eagles, however, have a strong connection with the ancient temple of Dodona. Before descending to earth, Zeus had released two eagles to find the center of the world. One eagle flew to the east, and the second to the west. After flying around the world, they both finally joined at Mount Tomori, located in modern-day Albania, and has stood there since the 7th century BCE. Several ancient Greek poets and historians have mentioned this ancient site in one way or another. Some even visited the ancient shrine of Dodona, like Herodotus. In his second book Euterpe, he highlights a particular detail of great scientific value, saying, Dodona that was built by the local inhabitants of Epirus, from the oldest the Pelasgians, the Arcadians, and the Tyrrhenians. Herodotus, who visited this temple, talks about the priestess of the temple in his book, saying, Dodona, her temple, was the oldest of all the others and the first, the most ancient temple. In addition to the Pelasgo-Illyrian cult of the eagle, several other strongly linked Illyrian cults and symbolism have been found throughout the Illyrian peninsula, which includes the sun, the star, the serpent, the goat, and many others. As interesting as these symbols are, we can't cover them all. However, the symbolism of the goat, which is a myth worth mentioning, has a strong connection to important historical figures. According to the ancient Pelasgian myths, Zeus' mother Amalthea, who is sometimes represented as a goat, raised Zeus in a cave where he drank her goat milk. The cult of the goat god Pan, the sun, the stars, the serpent, the eagle, as well as many other mythical symbols, are displayed much during the Illyrian era. For instance, the famous Illyrian general Pyrrhus of Epirus, Alexander the Great, and Skanderbeg all wore helmets with either goat horns on them or an eagle, and sometimes even both. Pyrrhus of Epirus, who was one of the strongest opponents of early Rome and one of the greatest generals of antiquity, is said to have told his troops, "I am the eagle, and you are my wings." As for Alexander the Great, who is believed to have been a second cousin of Pyrrhus, is known for having the sun, the eagle, and the goat as heraldic symbols. During Alexander's last days of his life, he left a testament addressing that he was the seed of the Illyrians. As for Skanderbeg, who was well known for having a genius tactical mind, as well as being well versed in multiple languages, knew a great deal of his historical ancestors. According to some eyewitnesses of that time, claimed that they had seen Skanderbeg read Plutarch's tales of Pyrrhus and Alexander's many battles. Consequently, in one of his most famous letters, addressed to Prince Giovanni Orsini of Taranto on October 30th, 1460, Skanderbeg mentioned both Pyrrhus of Epirus and Alexander the Great as his Illyrian ancestors. Having an extensive knowledge of his own ancient foundation and wanting to preserve its autochthonous continuity, Skanderbeg incorporated the ancestral symbol of the double-headed eagle at the League of Legia in 1444. Given the demographic makeup of countries around the world, different variations of the eagle have left a strong essence in many cultures that still identifies with the eagle, and rightfully so. Whether it be a single or a double-headed eagle, nations around the globe, in one capacity or another, strongly identifies with the eagle. Apart from this, Albanians, whose national identity encapsulate their exonym, seems to have a stronger connection with the eagle than any other nation. If translated, the words Shqipëtarët, Shqipëri, and Shqip, which means Albanians, Albania, and Albanian, literally means the eagle people, the land of the eagle, and the eagle language. This in itself gives a clear understanding as to why the eagle is so strongly rooted in Albanian identity. Known as one of the oldest national flags in the world, Skanderbeg's black double-headed eagle on a red plain symbolizes an ancient pride for all Albanians. Despite their historical difficulties, this ancient people have united under the eagle and will continue to do so until the end of times. Thank you all for watching. We hope you liked the video, and if you did, please hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell notification if you don't want to miss new content. Until next time, Tum.